And Mike will be our auctioneer.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then it would slide. Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Right in here like this.
So I think we're gonna have to turn off my speaker. That's what that noise is. So hold the button down. On top, it's the power button. Circle, hold it down for a while, and then it'll say turning off. So you guys, I can't hear what you guys are saying, but you guys can hear us. Okay, I think that's how it's gonna work. So raise your hand and chat if you need to say something. If you want to bid on something, let me know. But the audio is just not working right the way we got it set up. We don't have a microphone here, and we don't have, we coming back after a year and a half, everyone's kind of lost. So we started the recording. Okay.
Are you gonna be up here? Okay. Anyway, you guys are all ready. We're gonna start this. I think I might as well just start down here. Ed's gonna be back here. We're gonna do it by what your name is. So if I don't know you, let me know what your name is, and then we'll tie you with the item, whoever's the winning bidder, and then the amount. And then when we're done, then Ed's gonna keep track of that. Then when we're done, then you can come on up like usual and pay for it and take your item. So anyway, we've got this, all this stuff. There are some parts, there's some complete radios. And so we'll just go from there on it. So I think we'll start with this. Looks like this is like a Zenith Companion or Universal, looks like, long distance. And it's kind of a precursor to a TO. It's not really a TO. Looks like this is a complete radio. I'll entertain any bids on this, starting at $1. Anybody? Oh, let me see if I can hold it up. Any bids on this?
$1.
All right, $1. Anybody? $2. I got $1 over here. Anybody want to go $2? $2. Anybody? $3. I got 2 right here. Anyone? $3. $3. Anybody? $4. $3. Anybody? $4. $3. Are we done? $4. All right. $4. $5 here. Anybody? $6. I got $5. Anybody? $6. $5. Are we done bidding?
Wait a second, who's got it?
$6.
Who's got? Because Damien back
There's
there.
two
wants
fours.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're at 4. I'm sorry, Damon. Didn't see it.
Okay.
You know. Anyway.
We're at 5 already.
Stand up. There we go.
There you go.
So where are we? I think Franklin's at $5. $5 right now. Anybody? $6. $6 here. Anybody? $7. And $7 back there. All right. We got 6 right here. 7 right here. Anybody? $8. I got $7. Anybody? $8. $7. $8. Anybody? $9 right here. Anybody? $10. I got $9. Anybody? $10. $9. We done? $10. Anybody? $11. I got $10. Anybody? $11. $10. Anybody? $11. We're done. $10 once, twice, sold. $10. And what was your name? Wolf. Okay, Wolf. And that's the Zenith. That's your first name. I own that.
Oh.
We got Wolf on this Zenith. This Zenith Universal right here. Okay. Let's see. I could go with one of these 2 empty cat. We'll go with this one, I guess.
Okay, now supposedly there will be a chassis and a speaker for that,
Oh, really? Okay.
but the guy never gave it to us, so. Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe or maybe not.
Yeah.
Anybody want to bid on this cabinet that may have a chassis and speaker? We don't know. For $1, $1 to Pat. Anybody?
No,
$2.
it's Esteban, but I'll pay.
All right. $1 here anyway. Anybody? $2. I got $1. Anybody? $2. Are we done? $1 once, twice, sold. Pat Kaji for $1.
Esteban.
Or Esteban. Yeah,
No, Pat,
Esteban.
just
I'm
put
sorry.
Pat. He's done-
He's gonna pay for it. Esteban for $1.
Esteban. Test for sure.
Right. Got a Zenith. I think this is to a 6D030, needs to be glued. Anybody want to bid on this for $1? I'm bidding $1. Anybody want to bid $2? Anybody want to bid, take this away from me for $2? I got it for $1. We done? Once, twice, sold. Mike the Crow, $1. All right. Okay, this is, and Brian tuned me in on this. This is, sorry, couldn't help it. This is a complete radio. It is a General Electric, and what it is a rechargeable radio. So you need to get, the thing is though, it's missing, what was it missing? The battery?
Battery and the charger.
What else?
It's missing the battery, of course, which you don't want to use anyway.
Right.
It's a wet cell.
It was a wet cell.
But it's missing the power supply portion that charges the battery.
Yeah. Right.
That goes right in here, and then there's a metal cover that goes over it.
Right. And then you plug it in and it recharges the battery. So anyhow, any bids on this?
Yeah, I'll give you $1.
All right, $1 here. Anybody $2? We got $1 over here. Anybody $2? Are we done? $1
Plug
once,
my speaker.
twice.
Just pull out that
Sold.
blue,
Brian two. This
the blue wire.
GE radio for $1.
Is that better for echo?
This is
Still coming
a
through?
Greno
Hmm.
console.
On my phone, it's coming through my
It's
phone.
a,
Can you
parts-
close my phone? Do you know how
all
to?
the parts are here. Okay, it's got the, I believe, now I don't know, don't quote me on it, but it looks like everything's here. There's some wood pieces, the chassis here. It's got a big dial to, that sticks out of here like this. And I believe the speaker is in this box.
Yeah.
Is it? I think it's all there. Any bids on this console with all the parts?
I'm going
$1 to Pat. Anybody $2? We got $1 to Pat. Anyone $2? Anybody? We done? $1 once, twice sold. Pat Kaji, Greno console and parts. And we have all this stuff in the way. I'm gonna have to go back here. Okay, Ed's got to get an envelope, so we'll take a break for a second. We'll be right back, and then I'm gonna hold these things up in the back here. And then we'll get to this console.
Tense up there in the skies, right? You're hearing about airline incident from the overnight. A little scarier than some.
This is another parts and piece set,
On that.
and the chassis in this one.
Like 17.
Yeah, here's the discussion and dial on it. And I believe it's a
Unruly passenger got into an argument with the flight
It is.
aircraft.
Yeah, it's a Philco. It's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tube Philco. The dial and the discussion and all of that stuff are in these bags right here. Looks like the wood cabinet's in pretty good shape all the way around. The chassis is all there, speakers there, and everything. Any bids on this? For $1. $1 to Pat. Anybody $2? I got $1 over here. Anybody $2? $1. Anybody $2? We done? $1 once, twice. Sold. Pat for $1. That's this Philco. It's that. Okay, the next we have this. This is an intercom and radio, both. It's missing the back.
This incident
So
comes just a
it's got an FM and phono jack into it, and it's got all the intercom stuff. Plus, it's got the dial tuner for the radio right there. Any bids on this? You could use it for parts,
January 1st.
whatever. Anybody?
It is
$1
received
over here. Anybody $2? I got $1 over here. Anybody $2?
unruly behavior by airlines.
$1, $2 right here. Anybody $3? I got $2. Anybody $3? $3 over here. Anybody $4? I got $3. Anybody $4? $3, $4. Anybody $5? $4. Anybody $5? $4. We're done. Once, twice, sold.
That's right. Oh, I love that.
$4.
Absolutely. Hey, that's.
Okay, I got a
All right. Meantime, I want to say.
speaker, phone speaker, and driver. This doesn't really fit in here. But it looks like if you had a sleeve, you could sleeve that, put that in there, and then it should be okay. No, I don't know anything about it. I don't know if the driver's good, not, or what. But anybody wants to pick this up for $1 right here? Anybody two? I got $1 right here. Anybody $2? $2 right here. Anybody three? $3. Anybody four? $3. Anyone four? $3. $4. Anybody five? $5. Anyone six? $5. $5 once. Twice. Sold. $5. Steve. And that's the comb and driver. Okay. We have another little part set. This is chassis and chassis with front and back. Rest cabinet is gone. So it's a pretty good part set. Transformer, speaker, that sort of stuff, knobs. Anybody interested in this?
So they're buying them rent them at $2,000 per tent
Basic
a month.
parts for $1. And it is a,
Los Angeles.
I'm not sure what it is.
She had to buy.
It costs LA that much to supply them.
Right, it is, yeah.
Home
Anyway,
Mhm.
anyone but $1, anybody? Any bids? $1 Pat, anybody two? $1 over here, anybody two? We're done. Once, twice, sold. Pat Kaji for $1. That's the Stromberg Carlson part set. Tube tester, looks like the decent looking little tube tester. It's a Precision. Don't know anything about it. It's got everything from 4-pin to Compactron and all 9-tube, 7-tube miniatures, all that stuff. Looks like it's an emission tester. Any bids on this tube tester? It's got the dial scroll in it and everything else. Anybody $1 on the tube tester? $1. Okay, you going two?
Yeah.
Okay, $2 back there. Anybody three? $3 here. Anybody four? $3. Anybody four? $4 in the back. Anybody five? Oh, five. How much? $10 in the back. Anybody 11? $10. Anybody going 11? We're going $10 once, twice, sold. Oh. Sure? Because I think you got in.
Okay.
Okay, 11.
All right, okay, 11 right here. Anybody 12?
I'll do 12.
$12 in the back. Anybody 13? $12 in the back. Okay, 13 up here. Anybody 14? 13 in the right here. Anybody 14? 13. Anybody 14? 13 once.
13,
No, it's at 13.
or 14.
Okay, 14 over here. Anybody 15? I got 14. Anybody
I'll
15?
do 15.
15 in the back. Anybody 16? 15 in the back. Anybody 16? 15 once, twice, sold. $15. James Harper. That's the Precision tube tester. So, all right, put that on there. And okay, so we have some radios here. This one here is a Gil Fillin. It's got a metal front on it. Wood back with a handle. This could be a school radio. I don't know. It does, yeah, chassis comes out from the bottom. Any bids on this Gil Fillin? Looks complete. You just need to go ahead and maybe redo the wood cabinet and have a nice set. Any bids for this for $1?
I'll go $1.
All right, $1 right here. Anybody?
Two.
All right, $2 right here. Anybody three? I got $2. Anybody three? $2. Are we done? $2 once, twice, sold. Franklin for $2. That's the Gil Fillin. All right.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Yeah, don't say that.
Don't tell my wife.
This is a pilot radio. This is kind of neat. It's not too bad.
It's an FM tuner.
Oh, is it an FM tuner? It says radio on it. So that'll fake you right out. I know. I was just reading what was on it. It is. It's an FM tuner.
$1.
As soon as I looked at the back, I could see it.
That would be great for a game.
Anybody want this?
$1.
$1 right here. Anybody two? $2 right here. Anybody three? $3 right here. $4 in the back. $5 right here. Anybody six? $5. Anybody six? $5. $6 right here. Anybody seven? $7 in the back. Anybody eight? $7 right now. Anybody eight? $7. We done? $7 once, twice, sold, $7. And I'm sorry,
Mike.
your mic. Okay. Yeah, it's a mic. And that is the Pilot FM tuner. What, Mike?
Yeah, we have to separate you and Mike.
I know, but I'm Mike M too. I'll just put my yeah, do that. That works. We got a nice leatherette Helicrafters. And looks like it's got which short, oh, it's got 4-inch shortwave and standard broadcast. Nice.
How many do?
I don't know. 4 or 5 probably. Nice leather on it. It's actually in really good shape. Right here, $1. Anybody 2? I got $1 on this thing. Anybody 2? $2. Anybody? $3. Anybody 4? $3 right here. Anyone 4? $4. Any? Okay, $5. Anybody 6? I got $5. Anyone 6? $6. Anybody 7? $7. Anybody 8? $7 right here. Anybody 8? $8. Anyone 9? $8. $9. Okay, anybody 10? Not $10. Huh? Yeah. Okay, $10. Anybody 11? $10. We're done. $10 once, twice, sold $10.
Yeah.
To Wolf.
All right.
Okay, that's a Helicraft.
I was wondering, no, it's short wave.
Yeah, it's shortwave. Yeah, 4-inch shortwave too,
$10.
and it's got the whole band, so that's nice. Okay, I will grab this. Is a Philco Transitone with it's a cloth cabinet. It's kind of cool, and it's in really good shape actually. It's really nice. Chassis is a little loose in there, but that's all right. That's
No
okay.
knobs.
This is a neat little radio, I believe. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Looks like it. Oh, it's a 5 too. Yeah, looks like all American 5 in there. Any bids on this neat little radio? $1 right here. Anybody 2? $2. Anybody 3? I got $2. Anybody $3? $3 here. Anybody 4? $4. Anyone 5?
Right.
$5 right here. And you're going 5, Franklin?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody 6? $6. Anybody 7? I got $6 here. Anybody 7? $7. Anybody 8? $7. Anyone 8? $7. Anybody 8? $7 once, twice, $8 right here. Anybody 9? $9. Anybody 10? $9. $9. Anybody 10? $9. $10. Okay. Anybody 11? $11. Anybody 12? I got $11. Anybody going 12? $11 once, twice, sold. $11 to Franklin. Okay. Here are some part sets. These are broken case Bakelites with chassis, and looks like the tubes are in there. Anybody want this for $1? $1 a pack. Anybody 2? Anybody gonna go $2? I got $1 to pack. $1, $1 once, twice, sold. Pat Haji, and this one is the Emerson. Yeah, it is. And then I have this one here is I think it's a Spartan. Yeah. And same situation. Broken case. Not real bad, but anyway, it's got a good back. And I think all the tubes are there. Yep. Same deal. $1 to Pat. Anybody? $2 right here. Anybody 3? I got $2 to Franklin. Anybody 3? $2. $2 once, twice. Sold. Franklin. The Spartan parts set.
Is that the end of the auction? Oh, we got these.
No, we got to do the stuff in the front here. I've got 2 consoles.
2 consoles left.
All right, 2 consoles left. We have this one here. I don't know what it is. I think is this a Philco?
Philco. It's a Philco.
Yeah, it's a Philco. That's what I thought. Anybody entertain any bids on this Philco console? Pretty nice console. It's all complete. Any bids? Anybody want to bid $1 on this? $1? No bid?
It's got the push buttons, you guys.
No bids? once, twice, no sale. Okay. This is a neat little short compact console,
Blonde.
and yeah, blonde wood.
Yeah.
And what did we say this? Oh, this is silver tone. This is a silver tone.
Does it have a tuning eye?
It's got a
Yeah.
tuning eye.
And
It's
right in the
got
middle.
like 9 push buttons. Nice cabinet. Really a nice console. Any bids on this? Anyone about a bid $1? You can have this console for $1.
With a tuning eye.
With the tuning eye.
I believe so, Ed. Looks like it's got everything. I don't see the tuning eye tube. The socket is there.
Uh-oh. Oops.
Sorry. Hey,
Oops. Supposed to have a tuning eye.
that's the deal breaker. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have said that, but I got it. Speakers there. It's got an adjustable antenna inside. It's got it all, except for the tuning eyes. Any bids on this for $1? Anybody want this console for $1?
Jesus, the cabinet's gorgeous.
Any bids? No bids? No bids once, twice, no sale. Okay, that completes the auction.
9 o'clock.
Wait a second, ma'am.
what-
So I don't have to take these home.
Right,
Is anyone willing
Oh.
to take these?
For
okay.
free.
now
To
they're
save
down to
$1.
free. Anybody want to haul these? Okay,
on free.
which one?
Just the blondie.
Oh, really?
Okay, Wolf wants this for free, okay? Anybody want to take this, Philco?
Philco. Push button Philco.
Okay, right here, you'll take it for free.
Wow.
So we have, well, we don't need any information, they can just come and get it.
First come, first serve.
Right.
Big a truck.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, good, good. We got,
Yeah.
We got everybody taking this stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw mine.
Parts is parts.
It's gorgeous.
How am I gonna put it?
It's gorgeous though, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, one big dollar.
Perfect.
Only $1 for a Zenith, right?
Yeah, I've got the chassis for this. and
Perfect.
The
Oh,
cabinet
I should have
have-
run you up on that one.
well,
I
the
if I need
cabinet I have is really, the veneer's all off. It's I can fix this.
make you pay at least $10 for that, right?
You would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can make this into a good radio.
You got my total there. Yeah. I gotta put the screen down for now.
That's $15. Sound right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
James with the tube tester, $15.
Jimmy. 15. 5.
You did what? Yeah,
Right.
that's if it works. I mean, that's.
Hell, that's good. I'm glad.
Help me out.
You should have enough fives in there.
10, 4, and 10. It's 24 bucks. Free. That's the best price.
Can you grab that?
How much was it? 24. So, are you saying it's gonna stay here? Until you can get that?
Hey.
No, I'll fit it in there.
Oh, sweet. Oh my God. Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will.
Cool.
11, 13, 15. Okay.
gift.
No way. Let me buy them from you. Those are cool. Here's a 15 I owe you. There you go.
Sorry about that.
Good.
I felt pretty bad that you didn't get the tracking sale,
I would have loved a gun.
so I just got a couple of kind of stylish Japanese vintage cars.
Those are awesome.
Maybe for your collection.
Oh yeah, those will go right in my collection. That's for sure. Fantastic. Oh, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless now. Thanks. I missed that. Oh, you found him down there.
Yeah, this last Saturday was a good sale.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about.
I gotta figure which radios I bid on now. Which ones did I bid on? You can grab my radios there.
Yeah,
The little one.
which ones I'll grab.
The
Spartan, which is
Philco and a Gilfillan.
It's pretty,
pretty
consistent at checking in.
that one, and then that Spartan is right there. I believe. No, the Spartan's that one. I've got a chassis for that one.
Okay, which one's a Gilfillan?
Is that the?
Yeah, you said
the
that.
wood? Is that a Gilfillan? Yep. Okay.
Here, this, you
Can I put those in there? Oh, that'd be fantastic. Thank you so much.
No problem. You want to put anything else in there?
Yeah, if you could. I've got a little thing over there.
Yeah. And so, and I just thought that was a great idea. And it is. We were just talking about it, you know, and he said he would.
If you could put it over there in my backpack, which is over here, I've got a little backpack or a little
Yeah. Yeah.
He's having his meeting tomorrow, so.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They have this.
Okay.
Get an ear horn.
I don't want to scare anybody.
Okay.
My stuff is right on the cart.
Excuse me.
Sweet. Yeah. I can't wait to come over again. I really enjoyed myself.
I'm so glad.
So-
I really appreciated the visit.
Oh, you bet. Yeah. Yeah. I guess my nurse lives right by you. One of my nurses. Yeah, she lives just across on Paradise there. Another little project.
That's a good one.
Isn't that a nice looking set?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really getting into these little transistors. They're so hard. Yeah, cool. Yeah, and they're cool. You know, and the Japanese ones I just love. So.
I don't think this is Japanese.
No.
I don't know. Probably is.
Oh, is it? It might
Yeah,
be.
it's
Oh, it is Japanese. I didn't think it was. So should we go over there and talk to those guys? And when you come with me, we can talk to them. Yeah, if you can put it in, that'd be great. Yeah. So you can come with me. I just want to make these guys a little entertained on Zoom so they don't leave me. We've got 4 people here. Damon, you want to tell us about your DMM on Zoom?
Oh, the multimeter?
Yeah.
It's an older HP, LED digital LEDs. And I did buy Tesla for it, and I am trying to sell it. So anybody can Google Yahoo groups or Google groups for NWVRS, get a hold of me if you're interested. But I was asking, when we got here, I was asking Franklin, show me how it works. I can test, I brought out 1 volt battery. So we tested it and it brought up voltage. So it can show what the battery voltage is for 1 volt. And I guess it also does the amperes and resistance ohms. And I have it with the test leads and the power cord. And I was asking cash value $40.
All right. Thanks so much.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And for me, being visually impaired, I like red LED. It's easier for me to see.
Really easier than the green.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I like red LED versus like LCD.
LCDs are hard. Yeah.
Yep. It's cool.
Thanks so much. Hey, you want to talk on Zoom and say what's going on? What you got here?
This is an old radio, Franklin.
It's an old radio.
I recognize
I've
it.
never seen one like that before.
It has tubes on it.
It has tubes.
Unless you're British and then they're valves.
Wow, valves.
This is a radio, apparently, it's been through a number of folks in the club, and we're working on it for somebody. I don't know all the details. What I do know is that most of the folks that have worked on it are a little bit flummoxed, if you can zoom in on this area right here. Underneath all of that is the standard grid converter for the radio. I believe it's a 7F8. My memory serves me right. And there's a cathode bypass gap down there that is bad. It's open. And somebody needs to get in there and replace it. And somehow or other, I'm going to get in there and pull that switch out of there. So we can get that last capacitor changed out.
Oh, wow.
So anyway,
Looks like a job.
was my delivery.
Cool. Thanks so much.
You bet.
You want to tell us about your radios?
I've just acquired them over the last few years. And, this is a Rambler AC/DC radio.
It's a desirable radio. It's a desirable radio. Isn't it?
Yeah, and it's cheap.
How much you asking for it?
Huh?
How much you asking for it?
Somebody got me $10 to get it.
Really? Oh my gosh.
And it works.
And it works. Wow. That's incredible.
It's a Bruno. Late third. It works. Yep. Then you got a GE from 1939.
Wow.
Push button, preset. Yep. But basically, I'm selling that for less than I paid for it.
Wow. Can you pull it back? Oh, it's closed up.
It's screwed in.
But it does work, huh?
It does.
Scotty dog on there.
It's got the cover.
Cool. I'll buy that from you. $10. Sound good? Hey, Mark.
Good morning.
Hi, Mark.
Good morning.
Glad you could hear me. I can't hear you, so you have to chat if you need to talk to me.
Okay, no, I see you fine there. Good morning.
Mark, I can hear you, Mark. He just has his audio turned off.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sonny.
Sorry about that. My hands don't work today.
Oh, yes. Mine don't either.
Mine's gotten better, actually. One time I was not doing anything.
Were you in an accident?
No, I have a rare disease from a flu shot.
Oh, really? How many years ago was that?
It's been 10 years. Yeah, but I've been much worse.
So you're improving that?
Yeah,
Good.
it's hard work. Can't give
A
up.
lot of physical therapy.
And IVIG, which is antibiotic. I mean, antibody drug.
You want to just take it on your lap? How do you want to do it?
Yeah. We'll put it on that card over there.
I'll take it over.
Thank you so much. Couldn't resist. Scotty dog.
Yeah, it's a neat radio. I haven't seen that version of Scotty before. Good for you. They made
I need a picture of your radio there.
They made plastic ones and they made
No, go ahead,
radio
please.
photos. I haven't seen that version before, so good for you. Glad you got it.
Oh, man, I might have to buy this from you.
I was like, man, I mean, the Scotty Dogs radios go for crazy money most of the time, right? I mean, I don't think I've ever had one. I've always been outbid.
Well, I should have bought it from, because I have a friend, Jamie from CHRS in California. Secretary, he collects regular exclusively, and I usually supply one, and I've never seen this. I go, I'll buy that for him. I go, oh, yeah. So I'll show him a picture, and I go, do you want this?
Yeah, there you go. I'll split the profits with you.
I don't know.
There you go.
I've had a few Scotties over the years, but one of our charter members, Louis Stover, he and his wife had Scotties. And so I usually, Father's Day or birthday, whatever, sent the Scotties his way. Then the dog died and I felt really guilty.
They don't have a Chihuahua, do they? Good thing they don't have a Chihuahua radio. I'd be in big trouble. Your dad's standing right in the way.
I realized that myself. I saw the screen and I realized that the camera was just pointing at my backside, so I moved.
Everybody's got their camera turned off right now. Even Mark does. There's Mark.
Yeah.
Gonna say hi to Mark. Say hi to Mark from
Hi,
Hawaii.
Hey, how you
There's
doing?
Dan.
Hey,
I'll take
Dan, I can
around
hear you
everybody
now.
Anyway. Want to say hi to Mark from? He would be up there if this is Mark. He's an old member. Are you a founding member, brother Mark? Or he's
No,
an
no,
old member of. He's an old member. Yeah. Everybody say hi. Sonny, you want to say hi to Mark? You know Mark from Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, he does.
He's on there.
Hi, Mark.
Oh yeah, you can say.
Oh,
There's
okay.
Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Pat sees him. Zoom. And there's Sonny. You remember Mark?
Oh, yeah, he does.
So I'm real happy about that.
I'll take you around to some other people here, Mark. They can't see you because. Let's see here. Let's say hi to Mark. You see Mark on the Zoom. Everybody say hi to Mark from Hawaii. He's waving. You can see him up on the screen if somebody would move.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. So here's Mark from Hawaii saying hi to everybody.
Yeah.
See the free table?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good turnout. I didn't think we'd get this many people here.
I'm surprised you got the chair so close.
It's a beautiful day here.
Yeah,
Beautiful weather in the mid 70s.
good.
There's Ed.
Yeah.
Say hi to Mark, Ed.
Sorry.
He's too busy. Hi, Brian. How are you? Say hi to Mark from Hawaii. Do you remember Mark?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's in Hawaii right now. And your wood burning is incredible. I sure enjoyed seeing it. Yeah. Good. So that's about everybody, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you know Brian, right, Mark? You know Brian? Say hi. Say hi, Brian, to Mark.
Yeah.
He's waving. You can see him up there if they move out of the way. All righty.
Pretty nice. Yeah.
Too much fun.
Yeah.
Let's get this puppy started. That's almost time. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys and get the agenda up, okay? Just to let you know. Oh, there's Lyles. Hi, Lyles. Oh, say hi to Lyles. Let me put Lyles up on the screen there.
Okay, I need to unmute. Good morning, everybody.
Unpin. There's Lyles. See Lyles?
Good morning, Mark.
See, Lyles
Morning.
made it. Lyles is saying hi to everybody. So Lyles is saying hi to everybody. He wants to go around. He's up on the screen there. There's Lyles. You see Lyles on the screen?
Why aren't you here?
Say hi to Lyles. He's on the screen. You can see him now. See him? See Lyles? Hey, Robbie says hi.
Morning, Robbie.
Yeah, there you go. You say hi to Lyles. Lyles is waving at everybody.
Morning, Ed and
That's
Jerry.
funny. All righty. So I'm gonna put your PDF up right now. Okay. See if it works. Yeah. You want which one do you want?
The agenda, not
the
the one, not the one that's got the pictures. It's a PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. You want the PowerPoint or the? Yeah.
Yes. The PowerPoint will come first. It's a link to that, but we're going to talk about that because yeah, we have to talk about that.
Don, how's your weather in Manzanita?
I was like 199, 7%. Yeah, so it won't be quite the same. There you go. So you remember I tried to join the gave them money and they said, okay, we'll send you this. I didn't get anything from them until they were signed. I just said, yeah. I think it's great. To me, the best part is last time big steep projects. So yeah, that's great. Yes. Yeah. Where? Oh, really? Oh, wow. That is They kind of mentioned this week. So it's a big group. Wife and son. I think
Oh, Rick's here. Hi, Rick.
Hi there.
Sorry, I can't hear you what you say. You have to. The way it's set up, it's getting too much feedback. So I've got all your guys' audio off, but I can take around and show people. Do you know Sunny?
Used to.
You have to wave at me. There you go. Let's go see. Let's see what I say. Let's see. You want to say hi to Rick there? You know Rick? You see him? Okay, there you go. Say hi. Yeah, you can see him up here. You're up on the big screen there, Rick. Sonny's on the, Rick's on the screen now. Remember Rick? Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna get right behind you there. So Rick wants to see you guys since you see him. No, I'm in the way. There you go.
Morning, Rick.
This is hilarious.
Morning,
There's
Mark.
Mark. Say Mark. Everybody says hi to Mark. They can hear us. We can't hear them right now.
It's 6:30 in the morning here.
It's too much feedback, so I've got to figure out how to do it without getting so much feedback. So. I got to show you guys the radio I bought. Look at a Rimmel. The Scotty Dog radio. It should be starting here in about 5 minutes, I guess.
Ask Rick if he's ready to move back yet.
Are you ready to move back? No, look at, he's outside. Beautiful Hawaii. Are you ready to move back, Rick? He's just laughing now. Let me put him on screen. There's Rick. Are you ready to move back?
No.
He says, no way. Rick says, no way. Why would you leave paradise?
Grandchildren.
It's nice and warm. Look at the weather there. Of course, it's beautiful here today too.
Yeah.
That's Mark Richardson.
Yeah.
Ask him why it's cloudy in Hawaii.
Well, you could ask him right there.
That's looking west
Why is
there.
it cloudy in Hawaii, Mark?
Yeah.
We can't hear him.
Well, don't you see the blue sky and the
he's
puffy
saying
clouds?
something, but you have to use sign language, Mark.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Why is it cloudy in Hawaii?
Let's see.
There we go. Crazy, crazy.
There you go. There's the ocean out there. So
Ready to do your tech talk today? All right. I get people excited about it.
You gotta really squeeze because it's squeezed in between 101 and it's right in between there. You gotta have a good selectivity on your up end to fix this thing up. It sure does. I've been putting the little stereo jacks into a lot of the right on the volume.
Really?
Well, I've got to get out of here about 11. And I have a, or maybe before. I might leave with this. I wanted to stick around for Dick's tech talk, but I've got to go. I've got to. Everything. Oh, good.
I didn't think it fit in the UK.
That's all right.
Neither of them are, the radio isn't a Canada.
I can come up with a radio. Oh, that's good. That's close enough. No, I won't. I think we're gonna have a plethora of RCAs next month. I think the tube of the month will be Marathon. That'll be easy. Next month will be easy. Oh, wow. Esquire, that's.
Oh, that's sweet.
That is a neat looking radio.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
That thing's cute. Little pal.
Oh, and brand new.
Yeah, brand new in the box, never been used.
Box and everything.
Got the box. Little pal, too.
Made in Japan. Really cool.
I'm jealous.
Love that.
Want that?
Did you really?
We used to have, you ever go to that sale at the Montgomery Ward's old warehouse over in North?
I have not.
Well, they turned it into Montgomery Park.
Yes, yes.
And it was a vacant building for many years, but they had the best flea market there
Really?
for many, many
No
years.
idea. Huh.
And John Buckholz stood up there. I bought this from him when I first met him.
Yeah.
Wow. That's some time ago, right? Because the NATO's bought the building later, right?
It's now called Montgomery Park.
Right.
It's I think it's office building or yeah, but it was
Warehouse.
for a while there. It was empty.
Empty for a long time, right? Before the NATO's bought.
Yeah. Well, they had the old forestry building was right across the street, and that thing was absolutely beautiful, and then it burned down.
Well, that was one of the best flea markets Portland had back in the day.
Yeah. They even need this neat box, actually. Look at that.
Did John pass away a few years ago? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He was a nice guy.
He was a great guy. Well, you know,
Oh.
I bought his tube, not his whole tube, but a bunch of his tube collection at our one of our swap meets at Aurora. This was years ago. And he was trying to sell all his tubes, and I got 1,000 tubes for $100. Heck of a deal. It was at an auction. So that's how I got my tubes.
This is what everybody can see, you guys. They can see you guys. So we had a little bit of problems. First we couldn't find the projectors, couldn't find the screen, couldn't find the extension cords. We can't get the cabinet unlocked. The keys are missing somewhere. My keys didn't work, and so it's been a real experience trying to come back. Our flag doesn't have a stand, so we have no coffee, no donuts. So it's been a fun morning, but we're gonna make it happen, right?
Well, it may not be exactly, but it's got a whole bunch of little pins. It looks like. I can't imagine. That's what I thought too. And I thought, what the heck does that go to? But it's got a key in it like an octo.
It's time to start.
Maybe somebody added it.
So they can get their education.
James got it.
Oh, James, yes.
And I don't know what else. Because
Yeah, well, I should have said. I should have
Ready to
said-
start, Pat? 9:30. And we have no microphone, so no microphone. So Pat's got to yell.
So welcome everyone to the June 2021 meeting. This is the first time we've met in person at this clubhouse in what, over a year now for a meeting? So welcome back, everyone. So I would like to go ahead and say our Pledge of Allegiance. So if you all stand up.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So welcome back. Do we have any guests? Anyone? Great. So we have coming up is health and welfare. And I talked to Sid the other day, and he reported in that he wasn't feeling good, and he has to go in for a gallbladder operation in early July. So he'll be okay. He doesn't want to be inundated with tons and tons of call, but if you feel free, if you feel like you don't want to talk to him, that'd be great. He isn't driving right now. He's not feeling 100%. So hopefully after July, maybe he'll start coming to the meetings. But for now, he's kind of under the weather. So do we have any other health issues? Yes.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Ray Holland, our member who does nothing with GM car radios, had a pretty nasty incident. Went headlong into his bathroom trying to get around his wife from home. He spent, I think, 4 or 5 days in the hospital. He is home resting. As far as the doctors know, there's no broken bones, but he's got some probably a pretty good lengthy recovery ahead of him. And probably some physical therapy. He's in the 80s. His wife suffered from dementia, but right now his son Steve and daughter-in-law are there with them, kind of taking care of everybody. But he asked me to give you guys an update. He's sitting in a chair. We would probably welcome a phone call if you would see fit to give him a big one.
Any other health and welfare issues?
So.
Right. I would like to welcome Ernie Alsa, Donna Bestwick, Mike Johansson, Mike Miller, and John Wolf. John, I know you're here today. Are any of the other people here? These are all new members. So welcome, John.
Let's give him a hand.
John, do you have anything you would like to say? You have to collect.
At the end, so all the seats, all the classes.
My main focus.
And tassel.
The radio snuck in today, and then another one, and another. Years ago, I was trained in radio technology and stuff.
That's what she told us.
Oh, I'm sure you'll learn that real quick. So welcome, John. John collects cameras and now lots of radios. How many did you buy today?
If I know. See, I emptied my wallet. Like 4 or 5.
4 or 5. Well, congratulations. Welcome to the club. You're with like-minded people.
Sorry.
Okay, if there isn't any other health and welfare, we'll move to leads and needs. Does anyone have? Yes, David.
Just to let you guys know, I do have a lot of audio tubes. I'm looking to thin down and get rid of most of my collection. Being my eyes are getting hard to read the meter on the test equipment. So I have brought some today, but between now and the picnic in July, which we'll probably cover later. I can also be reached on the Google Groups email. If somebody is interested, I would like to sell the entire lot of audio tubes. Mostly it's preamp stuff, 1287, 1287, 6S7, stuff like that. 6A8, 6U8, stuff like that. Basic preamp stuff. So I am trying to thin out some of my collection. It's getting too hard to read the meter. So, see me or ask me on the Google Groups. NWVRS.
I think. So David has a lot of tubes, the audio tubes for sale. Bill, can you send that to your group for the audio people? Sure. Okay, sounds good. David, how about Mike Miller? Have you contacted him? He seems to be buying lots of tubes.
Yeah, I already sold him a lot when we had the Aurora. So what I have left is mostly stuff I've tested, used. There might be some Telefunken, there might be some Amprex, Voice, 6B3, stuff like that. Basic stuff used but tested good.
Are there any other leads or needs? There's a white Zenith console that Bill Holman is trying to sell for a friend. I forgot the model number, but he's asking $100 for it. He thinks that's a fair price. It's located in Vancouver, Washington. I don't know if anyone's interested. You may.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've already bought it.
Oh, you already bought it. Oh, congratulations.
Never mind.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry to let that out there. Get you guys all excited. Sorry. Any other leads or needs? Okay, let's move to old business. Want to thank everyone. We had a successful sale in Aurora. Bobby, do you want to say anything about the Aurora sale?
Well, not too much, really.
Okay. Not everyone was there that ordered the table, so we were a little short on vendors, but I think it was a successful event.
Yeah, I set up 25 tables there, and 5 or 6 people didn't show up. Said they would, so. Next time, I hope that we have a lot more people coming. We got another show coming up in October. And so I'm gonna need some help setting that up. And it's gonna be the second Saturday in October, 10 o'clock. Some people to help set that up again. But I'm hoping to be more people come because 5 tables, that's. So I think it's probably because of this COVID thing, people didn't want to, do close together. I think by August, everybody should have their shots and everybody should be safe. I still wear my mask though.
Robbie,
Yeah.
where are we on the table sales? Do we need to pay up to get our tables for October yet?
Yeah, I was going to say, there's about 25 tables available right now for the show in October. If anybody wants to sign up, they can today or next month.
Wow. Great girl.
Robbie?
Yeah.
I'll take the same two again.
Okay.
How much is the table?
50.
It's about the size of the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. Future food trucks. Next time.
All right, I'll sign up everybody that wants to today after the meeting.
Yeah.
Strictly radio stuff.
It's radio stuff and ham radio stuff.
Radio, TV, TV, anything related,
Audio.
audio, yeah, turntables, anything related. Yeah.
John, were you saying that because you wanted to sell your cameras or?
Yes.
Yes. He wants to know if he has to bring radios, can he bring other things like cameras?
And
Well, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, especially if they're old.
Cameras with vacuum.
They've got the ones that flash and go away.
Yeah, go ahead, bring it then. Everything you got.
Yeah.
Load up your table. Okay, so yeah, there's Field Speeds picnics coming up, 24th. This month.
No,
July.
July.
It is the 24th, isn't it, Ben?
Believe so.
Yeah.
Right here in the parking lot, right?
Yeah.
Just like usual, just like usual.
We still need somebody.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Well, since we've talked about that, we need someone to run the picnic part of it. We had originally thought we would get Arlene Cuisine. That's the same vendor that did our Aurora show. But then talk went to, we want to do it ourselves. So it's flip flop back and forth. So does anyone want to run the event? Meaning that we've heard of talk about a barbecue where we buy the meats and hot dogs at Costco, someone cooked them. And we've heard talks about maybe Subway sandwiches. Someone could bring in pizza instead. Does anyone want to run this? Because what has happened, excuse me, is that Arlene is only available on July 24th, not our usual second Saturday of the month. So to cancel it when the other, so we flip. If you don't want
I don't know.
ownership of it, and you can do sandwiches,
Well, he
barbecue, whatever, or we can have Arlene,
I guess it's still there.
anyone who's remotely interested in forming and heading up the committee.
Not the hero because not at all. He said I passed on it.
Snow cone machine. The loop. Does it,
I think
Reconsider this.
he had,
yeah, we just had
Hey, Lyle,
things,
you
grassroots
need
efforts,
to mute your audio.
or we want to do it ourselves. So it's flip flop back and
Did it last time, right?
no, she did it 2 years ago.
Time we got the picnic here.
No, last time. Janet, they are the ones that did the barbecue.
No, we didn't have one last year.
The last time.
Yeah.
When we had it, yes, she did it. She charged
good.
us like $900. This year, she will do the same thing for $715. So she comes, does the hamburger, sausage. It's a mix of 75, 25, or whatever we want. So she'll provide that, napkins, etc., utensils, and all the supplies, the condiments with bacon for the hamburgers. But that's only the main meal. It does not include the drinks. If you want her to do the drinks for 100 people, it's another $100. Plus, it does not include chips, potato salads. So, do we have any interest in anyone wanting to do this? 'Cause
Had been, for supplies when we did it ourselves. I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
It was in the hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, 500, I think, wasn't it? I think it was around 500.
I'll check
to see if we had record of that. And in fact, I might even have a list of items we purchased at Costco or whatever and all that, and the drinks and everything else.
Yeah, I have it in my checkbook register, but it's back home, the old
Yeah.
register.
I might have it on my computer, and I'd have to look and see if I still
If I
have it.
remember right, it's like 300 to 500, I think, at least.
Be a difference of a few $100s between us doing it and having her do it.
Yeah.
How about if we have a show of hands on which way this group would like to go?
Well, I think we got that because let's have a show of hands that someone in the group wants to do it.
There you go. If you don't want to do it, we got to do Arlene. Yeah, we don't have a choice. We don't have volunteer.
Well, let's make it official. How many people would like Arlene Cuisine to come in and do the barbecue for us at the cost of $713 for just the main meal? Raise their hand. All in favor?
I said, everybody, unanimous,
All
all opposed.
Okay, motion is carried. Sides like potato chips. Usually this is a potluck. So how about we just send out a list to say, please bring
Chips,
chips.
cookies, whatever. Yeah,
Potato salad.
something like that. And pops.
Okay, so us for her to supply drinks. I would. How many people are planning to attend? Because we sent that out as a link.
An invite, yeah.
Invite, because it was suggested to keep that. So far we have 14 people signed up. So I know.
40 people get to eat really well.
All right, okay, so we have more than 14. And don't forget, when you call in your numbers or send me an email, whatever, it's how many meals you get. So if you say you're coming and you have 12 people in your family, you're only gonna get one meal. So the number of people plus guests. And remember, this is also open to the public, so the public will also get a free meal when they show up. But I think that what we should do is we should be fed at 11. She'll only do this for two hours. She's not gonna come up and waste her whole day for $700. She's gonna only supply meals for 2 hours. So I suggest we eat 11. We say the public's invited, they can eat at 12. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Because we wanna make sure
We're fed.
we're fed. So what do you think of the 100? Last year we used 76 meals. So she's willing to buy back everything we don't use, but if we do that, she wants an exact count. She wants only to give out by ticket. So I think it's better for us to spend the money and whatever's left over, we take. But if we do it that way, then she will make the meals until the 100 meals are gone. And I think that's better. Because last year, if we're only using 70, 3/4 of 100, we're gonna have 25% left over.
Even in the 70, we're only 50 people actually. So 25 people got seconds, right? I mean, that lets you know where we were at.
So I think it's fair that we should be able to use all 100 meals if we want. Damon, yes.
So you already asked about who's coming to July. So those of us who didn't see it can just contact you and tell you how many more.
Right,
Like I
there's
didn't
that
tell
new
you.
Bright feature, it's a whatever, but
It's an Eventbrite.
yeah, Eventbrite. We was suggested that we use that so it keeps track of people with the number of tickets, which are free. And then it also sends out emails to remind you that you have this event.
It's just an RSVP like, so.
Right, it was only experimental to see. Normally, we just send out an email and people just show up. So I think at this point, if we're gonna go ahead with 100 meals and we're getting to eat all 100 of them,
Yeah.
I just say, well, just more the merrier. Just bring everyone. Okay, any other questions about this July picnic? Remember, this is also a radio sale. You can get a table. The tables are free. It's a free tailgate. Public is also invited. No other questions? Okay. Let's see, also I want to thank the people who helped in our May 29th auction. That was the Vern Howe estate that we got to auction. It was 100% donation. And how much did we get from that?
1,500 for the Walton and 750 from everything else. Total $2,250.
$2,200.50 right to our coffers.
Lean to bring dessert.
When it costs more, it's like $3.
Yeah.
Well, we could- yes.
We're gonna have music too.
Oh, yes, we are going to have music. We're gonna have our own DJ courtesy of Dick Carmen.
When you speak to Arlene today, ask her to somehow email me this for that. For the event, yeah.
Okay, most likely she will give you one when she shows up.
Really?
That's what I think she did last.
Well, I don't, sir.
She'll just have to pay later.
Well, could you ask her?
Okay. All right.
The check is in the mail.
Oh, yeah. We still need. Online?
Is there,
Okay.
right, Lyles? Yep, he's waving his, he's
Okay.
shaking his head.
We still need someone to take up that role. So Lyles, thank you for holding this, your end up there and filling in for the interim period. So, does anyone want to bring up any old business? Okay, we'll switch over to the new business. So for the new business, we had a very dedicated person spend many hours interviewing 30+ people for this PowerPoint display. Is it up?
Yeah. Oh, you have the
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint one? Okay. Just a second.
Basically, before COVID, our club was going through some turmoil because we had a lot of people complain that our club didn't have enough technical talks and we were spending way too much time with auctions. And that's my fault. I apologize for that. And I figured that auctions, they like to see things up for sale. And then you ran the other people that say, well, I also want to hear a bunch of tech talks, which I was promised when joining the club. So we're trying to balance it out. There have been a lot of complaints. And I do want to say that thanks to Blake Dietz, he has interviewed a solution.
Just.
Yes. Suggest and threat. So can everyone read that?
I can slide it up later.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to go through it or you just want to?
Well, number one, basically,
Meetings are too long.
yeah, meetings are too long. Club direction, according to where our charter is. And then three, we have too many options. But our auctions have been separated from meetings. In other words, we have our Zoom meetings and then we have, so they're both separate. So I know there are some of you that don't want to attend one or the other, but now you've had your choices. You could go to the Zoom meeting because we weren't able to meet here, and you could go to the auction that was separate from the monthly meetings. So hopefully we have cured a few of those problems. Is there a question back there, Mike? That's true. We do. And other things, every Wednesday night on our WNRZ Wednesday night meetings. Thanks.
7 p.m.
7 PM.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, and what, we've had several tech
Thanks so much.
talks.
Oh, yeah, we've had several tech talks. Yeah. Mike's done some really good ones. Blake's done some.
They're
Thanks,
also
Blake.
recorded and you can watch.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the
It's gotta
plug,
be-
yeah, the-
Plug is loose. Yeah. HDMI looks like it's loose. There we go. Oh, you turned it off.
Turned it off now.
It'd take a while to turn back on.
So if you guys want to see a tech talk, we've been having some of them Wednesday nights. You can view them at a later date. Because they have been
On-
recorded.
And they're put on YouTube.
They're in YouTube.
It's yeah. .org, I think.
Could you go ahead and send the link out?
Sure, I can send the link out.
Franklin will send the link out again via email to everyone. As a reminder, okay. Yes. Go
You have
ahead.
to push the button at the end to light it up.
I think so, yeah, because it'll take a while for it to light up.
Oh, well, future options, sure.
Yeah. All I know is it's sitting sideways and
If we
hanging
have
off.
a meeting here,
Yeah, we were having so much trouble with.
we'll have to pay like.
Let's see how we-
$75. We'll have to consider that.
There we go.
If that's worth.
You know those HPs.
Hard to say. Yes.
And also, you're gonna have to check with Judy to see what availability.
Right, right.
Was the,
3, 2.
I was wondering if the screen rolls up higher. See when you correct it, that's fine.
So these are the comments.
Yeah. That's what, that's fine.
That's good. Blake, that's fine.
Okay,
You want to read them or?
so you can kind of browse through this, but basically it means our meetings are too long, we have too many options, and there's not enough tech talks. So some of the suggestions, okay. Shorten the meetings, more tech talks, get rid of the auctions, more radio restoration training perhaps, more tailgating. And other options, veggie trays instead of donuts and eating healthy, et cetera, et cetera. So.
And
so,
Pat,
yes,
the comment was to get rid of the auctions at the end of the meetings, not get rid of them altogether.
oh, sorry. Well, if you noticed, we had our auctions before the meetings. And the reason why this was important is because a lot of the people who were doing tech talks were getting interrupted because, and they were wanting them to hurry through because they wanted to get to the auction. They didn't care about the tech talks. And so very disrespectful. And a lot of people who used to do tech talks didn't want to do it because they felt like they were being disrupted and hurried through their presentation just so they could have an auction. So this meeting, you notice we had an auction. The meeting started. So if all the, yes, Dan.
Why don't we keep that format, the option first, meeting the tech talk, and then people come. They want on the same day.
Good idea. So with all these suggestions and all the research Blake did, we now have the suggestions to a new schedule. So this is a preliminary design. You can't see it all, but basically it just says in the morning, we have coffee, we have social hour, we have donuts, we have tailgating, we have an auction, all before the meeting starts. Meeting comes to order, we have our business portion, and then we'll have our technical talk later on. So, does anyone have any comments or questions? Then we want to go to the new proposal.
Okay.
Any comments, suggestions? Okay, next.
A little while to do that, so.
We'll actually have the proposed solution to this. What we can do is you can tell.
Maybe I'll just.
All we're doing is waiting for this to come out. Technical difficulty, we actually had this as a presentation to display.
I think it's back here.
I'm wondering if the other thing that interferes, or we've had interference with doing tech talks is when we have our trash.
Hold that because I'm gonna turn it.
Okay.
So that it's upright for folks.
Okay.
You know.
Something like that.
Don't come in
I can hold it still in.
pay attention to someone that's trying to do a tech talk. I'm wondering if maybe we just have a trash bash day and without having somebody try to do a tech talk on top of it.
That's possible, because it's hard to get, everyone outside, inside. But we still. True.
Oh, well, yeah. We've got to have this. Yeah.
Okay, so a suggestion was that we don't have any tech talks during the trash bash. The trash bash, what that is another man's junk is another man's treasure. So when you're free to bring in all your electronics stuff,
I'm gonna do that.
and then everyone else brings theirs in, and then you dig through their stuff while they dig through your stuff. It's all free. And what is nice about this last year and this year is that we don't pay for the dump fees. What we do is we have David over here, he's willing, and Christian are willing to take the items left over as they will recycle them. So there's no worry about paying the extra money. So bring all your junk you want and it'll get recycled. Wow, let's see. You need some more time because I can talk about other things.
Yeah, can you use that? You can't use this one?
It's a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
I can get a little closer.
There you go.
So basically, we start our meeting. The tailgate party. What a tailgate party is you bring your stuff in and sell it. We don't charge you, there's no commission. Whatever you sell it for, it's yours to take home. It's nothing like an auction or anything like that. We also have a free table. Back there, usually people bring in stuff. They don't want to sell, they just want to give it away. But there is one caveat. If you bring stuff in, you're expected to take it home at the end of the meeting, so we don't have a bunch of junk to clean up. Also in the morning, we have the coffee and the social times. There's a little gap there because it takes a little bit of time for us to start the coffee. Usually there's donuts. The cost is it's $1 for a cup of coffee, cream sugar, plus one donut. Sorry, we didn't have that today. Next week or next month is the picnic, so we probably won't have coffee there either. But in August, we should be back on track.
But if we're having the picnic on the 24th, are we still gonna have a meeting though on the second Saturday? Next month?
Well,
What do you wanna do?
normally, the July or whatever meeting the picnic is at is also our meeting. So
Okay,
we would have to book another event or July, we could have a Zoom business meeting as usual. What do you think? Maybe we want a Zoom meeting?
I don't know, what does everybody think?
What do you guys think? Next month, July, there's a picnic, but we don't have two slots here in July. We could do a meeting, but it'd be via Zoom. Does anyone have a suggestion on that? They want to propose that we do or not have a meeting?
I just, take a vote to see if everybody just wants to do a Zoom meeting, then we don't have to book the range twice that way.
Sure. Do I have a motion
A motion, we just have a Zoom meeting.
for the month of July?
in July.
Okay, all in favor? All opposed? Okay, we will do a Zoom meeting, so we will have to make sure that goes on the calendar. for July.
Now, you've got the range book here with Judy on the 24th.
Yes. Oh, perfect. Yes. I've already arranged that. I didn't want to cancel it because I wasn't sure of the Arlene. date. Arlene is only available on the 24th. That's why I kept it. Okay, so we have tailgating, coffee, free table, social events. They start to wind down just before the meeting. Because we may gotta make sure we cut that off so that people pay attention to the meeting. So the meeting starts 9:30. The Pledge of Allegiance, most of that stuff is pretty much the same as it was before. Yes, so.
Sorry.
No problem.
I'm a little
So
shaky. Dance with it.
everything after the meeting starts is pretty much the same, except we do need more tech talks. So we promise we won't put an auction in after your tech talk. So feel free to volunteer, get with Franklin and book yourself for a tech talk. So this pretty much covers this presentation. Does anyone have any questions? I would like to make a motion going forward. Options after tech talks will be meeting with less disruptions. To see if anyone would bring up a motion to accept the new format going forward.
I'll say.
All in, no more, just new format. Okay, this is your final call to ask questions. Okay, all in that, please raise your hands. All opposed? Motion carried. He is the one to listen to all 30 of these. So Blake. Okay. Also, thank you, everyone. So under new business, we have, as you know, the July 24th picnic. The tables are free. We're all set. We're going to have Arlene show up, but we need people to attend and people to bring sides for the hamburger and hot dogs. So other new business is the August 7th car show in Chehalis. Fletcher Anderson has volunteered a free table for the club to show up. This is a car show, antique car show. So they're very interested in us. They asked us to come up with, you want to talk about your?
Yeah, I talked to Fletcher. He, I made a deal with him I've got a radio I'm restoring for him to put as a door prize at the car show. And he's in. Pat and I are going to go up there and then we're going to put a display with, sign up sheets and everything else and flyers of our stuff about our club up there, along with the radio for the door prize for the car show. And also, he's talked about that he would like, after the car show is in August 7th, later on in the month, maybe third weekend or something along those lines, Fletcher wants to have a radio show up there in Salem. Pretty much along the same lines as what the Seattle PSARA has been doing up there in the Shoreline. Be an outdoor event on his property. This seems to be like a really good fit because Pat talked to the president, Jason of the Puget Sound Club, and they're very interested in that. And Chehalis is a good fit for everyone because it's about half, well, not quite, but it's close to halfway in between Seattle and here. So we don't have to travel as far, and then they can come down, meet us halfway and have a radio show up there. So it seems like a good deal all the way around. And Pat and I are going to go up there and meet with Fletcher, and I'll be presenting his radio for their door prize for the car show. And then we'll move forward. I believe it's probably, now I haven't gotten all the details tied down with him, but I'll talk to him at the car show about it. I believe it's going to be probably the same format. You show up there, there won't be any electricity. It's going to be outdoors. What?
There are restrooms.
Okay. Oh, thanks, Pat.
Outhouses. Sorry,
Yeah.
there's outhouses there. There's running water and there is electricity.
Oh, there is electricity. Yeah. Well, but
Is this at the fairgrounds?
no, this is his property.
Oh, so where is it?
It's in Chehalis somewhere. I don't have the details on that on me right now, but I'll get all the information ahead of time and so that everybody can attend. And if you want to go to the car show, you're welcome to do that as well, at least. I'll find out details and everything else about it. There may be some charges to get into the car show, and I can let everyone know what that is as well. I believe the radio sale, though, it's going to be similar to Seattle in that you bring your own table, show up there and set up and set up and display your radios and just sell them. So, but more information, I'll get more information on the whole deal will be forthcoming, and I'll talk to Fletcher and before the July Zoom meeting, that kind of stuff, and I'll try and get everything out. We can put it out on the email and also in the call letter as well about everything, about all the details.
So thanks to Mike, we are having a radio sale, a show in August in Chehalis. But since Jason Rogers, when I talked to him, he says they cannot have their yearly August radio show in Seattle because Shoreline won't let them have it. So we're going to join forces. So it's going to be a combination NWVRS and PSARA radio sale, radio swap meet. So Jason is having a meeting with the PSARA members tomorrow, and then he's going to present it to them. So I think it's a good win-win situation since the people in Seattle can't have their usual August show, that they'll come down and join us. The trouble would be, are people willing in Seattle to drive halfway down into Chehalis, whereas before they just had to go to Shoreline? So question.
What date is that? Do you know?
It's Saturday, August 21st.
Okay. Is it the 21st? Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So it's 2 Saturdays after our car meeting with them.
Mike, has anyone contacted PSRA, PRSA regarding having their flyers on the table on the August 3rd event? It might be
On the
nice.
7th?
No, not for the radio show, but for the car show.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's August 7th. But
Okay.
yeah, we can sure do that. That might be a good idea. And
It would be a nice offer.
it sure would be a great offer. And I'll talk to Fletcher. I'm sure he'd be fine with it.
More flyers on the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've invited
That's a good
Jason.
idea.
I talked to Jason. He says, that he'll come on August 7th to check the place out. He'll need to bring flyers.
Yeah, if they want to bring flyers and information on their club as well and be able to put up a display like we're going to do, that'd be a good idea.
So does anyone repair car radios? Because according to Fletcher, they need car radio repair people. So we need your cards.
Ray Holland,
Okay, Ray does. Okay, do you do that? Car radios?
not if I
Not if we can avoid it.
They're desperate, their club members are desperate for their car radios to be restored because they do not have anyone. So, all right, so we'll contact Ray Hall for that.
Ray Hall, yeah.
All right, so that'll
Ray
be,
has a business, stack of business cards. We can drop off. He only does GM radio.
so other than G, we have no one that does anything other than GM?
The Fords that are in my garage, no, I don't want any more, thank you.
Okay. So how many people here would attend the August 21st show in? Oh, okay, great. So from what I understand from Fletcher is that it'll be a free event. We will not have to pay for the tables or the space. There's plenty of free parking, there's outhouses, there's water, and there's electricity.
Good.
There's also tents, but he says normally they do not erect them because usually the events does not have rain, but there are tents there.
So does that mean that, are we gonna have a meeting on August 14th?
Well, sure,
Is it on the schedule or not?
yes, it should be on the schedule. Yes, we have this reserved for every month except October.
Oh,
Yes, John.
The Chehalis venue, would it be possible to find out who is working overnight, like one RV, maybe?
You know, I can, maybe, that's a good question, and I can find that out too. It's on his property if he would allow that or not, but let me find that one out. If you can do that, it may be just fine, so I don't know. He's got lots of room and he's willing to go ahead and allow that, so it's his private property, and so I just have to check with Fletcher and I'll get back there if he'll let you know. And if that's available, I'll let everybody know.
You back? Do you have a question? Okay. Is there any other new business anyone wants to bring up?
Just a quick question. On the schedule, is the trash bash scheduled for this year?
No, I don't believe so. We have the show in October, we have the car show and swap meet in August.
September, doesn't it?
Usually it's been September.
Mhm.
Well, maybe we should have a motion to set that the trash bash will be September, second Saturday of the month. Yes,
Make a motion to do it on September.
I second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, good. We're gonna have a trash bash.
Who's gonna get the
Esteban did it last year.
Yeah, he has it.
I think Brian did.
I don't remember who, does anyone remember who had the trailer last year?
Year before last. Year before last. I think it was Brian.
Brian? Are you willing
The other
to
Brian.
take the reins of the trash bash to your place?
I can still recycle.
So what we've done, I think the last time we had this, we didn't have to pay the dump fees because it went to Damon's place. So all we would need is maybe Robbie to put it in your truck and take it to Dave.
Or it should be in the trailer.
Direct. Somebody has to get a trailer.
Just leave it in the trailer for whatever amount of stuff.
Years ago, do we have a trailer? Because I don't remember.
Yes,
Yep.
2 years ago, yes, there was.
Who brought the trailer over to your place, Damon?
You remember who brought it over, Damon?
I don't. Did it, and the year that Robbie and I did it, there was no trailer because it was just his truck, and Robbie and I just hauled it to my place.
Okay, so maybe we don't need a truck.
I don't know, does anybody availability to whatever,
A truck?
a trailer?
Yes, Esteban does.
Okay.
So, all right, so I think we should save the club money, because if we trucks or Esponge trailer, we should do that to save. Thing is, we should mileage
Yes.
for the gas.
So I second. All right, I make the motion. We pay.
Whoever does this will pay for their gas.
All right.
right in Hillsborough. Can we have a
Okay.
second? Or reimburse? All opposed? Okay, great. So if there's no other new business or question of the new business.
Oh, okay.
at the end of the-
Right now?
Yes.
Anyhow, I have to go to grad. If I don't, I'll be dead. So anyway, so I'm gonna do the tube of the month, and I'm Howard for this is for the Q month, RS Red Top. And here is an example of this is actually a 201 or 01A type. He was saying, I think, and I believe this is right, they only made 2 tubes, this style, and then also the rectifier, which is going to be like an 80 or 280. And here's the box for the rectifier. So he's kind of. I wrote an article about it. You can read it in the call letter, and they started making tubes in the 20s, and they got the bright idea of taking a red lacquer and putting it on the top of the tube to identify it as their brand. The S in Chicago. Then I'm guessing 20s in that era, or maybe right around 1930, or maybe around the time of the Depression, they had a patent that Rayathon sued them over, and they end up Rayathon took them over takeover of the company. So QRS was out of, and then after that, Rayathon didn't make the tubes anymore. So they're rather rare for that reason. But anyhow, and this is it's got the tube socket and everything for it. And here's a really good example. I want to thank you for bringing this to the meeting. So anyway, that's it. Any questions? Okay.
Mike.
Okay, next up, we have monthly beach.
Features. We can start with the Howards. Okay, you guys want to, or you want to do yours? Yeah, that'd be great.
I didn't really have a radio that had a Q in it, so I brought the closest thing I could find. I brought a radio whose advertising had a Q in it. Little cow was advertised in Esquire magazine. There's an interesting story about this radio. Those of you who remember John Buckholz, I bought this from him before he was a member, when he used to set up at the Montgomery Park Saturday flea market, or weekend flea market with the Portland area back in those days. And that was the first thing I met him, and that was the first thing I bought from him. I have one other item here with a Q in it, and it's a little with the brand name of Qualitone. That's my offering, a little typical 20s horn speaker with a 2000 ohm impedance. Paint job was mine. I had to repaint it. The bass was missing when I got this little horn, and Don Iverson made the bass for me.
On the radio, what year, and is it, it must be a transistor style?
No, this is a little tube radio, a typical little Japanese 4-tube superhet, which were, they made a lot of these in the early to mid 50s. Fairly common style and design. One of the Japanese companies made it by the name of Suntone. It's called the Sun.
How many tubes?
4.
So those,
Rated. Requires a
Sonny, what kind of tubes does it have in it?
4, 1U4, 1S5.
It's brand new.
Those of you who are familiar with these little Japanese radios, let's see, miniature tube,
All crammed in there.
all crammed into a tight little socket. It's a typical 2-stage superhead,
The 9 volt,
455 KC.
4.5 volt.
AM only, right?
Yeah, it takes a volt A battery and a 67.5
Oh,
volt B
67.
battery.
Oh, sure. Thank you, Sonny.
Between college and graduate school, I spent a summer hunt in the late 80s, about the time that a lot of the repairmen were contemplating whether or not their industry would even continue to exist. And of course, they ended up folding by the 90s. So that's where the sign came from. Quasar was a Motorola brand they used for marketing their transistorized works in a drawer. Started about 1967. Actually sold out that brand to a Japanese manufacturer. So we can probably date this sign to 1970 more or less. And it hangs up in Dad's garage, kind of greets you as you come in the door. The only other Q thing that I could think of was QSL cards, which are common to those of us that are familiar with ham radio, but maybe not to the rest of the group. They're cards that you'd fill out and send to people that you talk to on the radio as just a way of saying, hey, thanks for the conversation. And as a young ham myself, I can remember the excitement of getting a card from maybe a state I hadn't talked to before, or perhaps even from a foreign country. The mail would come and I'd hang it up in the ham shack as a reminder of the good time I'd had on the radio. I just grabbed a handful of cards. You may take a look at them after the meeting, perhaps. The pink card is actually one from Dick Bixler, is his card. Kind of a fun one. Dick was first licensed in the mid-60s, and this card was one that he had printed up when he was a brand new ham as a novice. Has his call sign as WN7 DKF, indicating that he was other than wasting money on buying new cards.
Galley Sharpie out.
He got out a Sharpie after he was promoted to a technician class and made it WA7, which was the card that, or the call that he had for the rest of his ham career. In the middle are some QSL cards from the Benson Tech Radio Club, dating from the 20s and the 30s. And over here on the end is one from the 60s when my mother was first on the air. Yeah, that's mom and dad in their home on Southeast Salmon Street, which is the home that I was born into. And then the very center is not a QSL card, but it kind of fits because it's questionable, right? It is a membership card for the Benson Tech Radio Club, and it kind of fits with the theme. So there you go.
So Dan?
Yes.
Did any of you and your family ever achieve the WAP or the WAC certificates, which you used QSL cards to validate?
What is WAP?
Work all continents and work all provinces up in Canada.
Oh, okay. Yes. Dad had quite a long career as a ham and has talked to people all over the world for the WAZ, worked all zones.
Yep.
And he and I both have talked to over 100 foreign countries, the XCC award. And when you apply for some of these operating proficiency certificates, you actually take the cards down off the wall and mail them in to the groups that issue the awards. And it's always kind of a trying moment thinking, am I gonna get my babies back? But they're pretty good about that.
All right, thanks so much. Thanks so much. Nope. Have any Q or Q stories? Okay, I'll give it back to you.
Okay, next up would be recording secretary for May minutes. Can we get Miles online?
Oh, he can't we can't hear him, so.
Oh, we can't hear him?
Yeah.
Okay. So does anyone have any questions?
If I unmute, can you hear me?
Oh my, how can you do this? Oh,
Can you hear me if I unmute?
that's
In minutes?
Lyles, the problem is on their end. They can't hear the speaker.
Second. All in favor of the May minutes? Those opposed? Okay, next up is treasurer's report. So you have any updates on funds?
Yes, I do. As of yesterday, the Mason Fund is at 49,000. Just did a little number crunching. Investment for about 6 years now. 3,000, and that means we have about 8.5 per year. So the investments that Chris Butler set us up in the beginning was very wise balance. With him and see when would be a good time to pull out of some of the more fast-growing funds. Because this has got to stop sometime.
Bury it in the backyard instead.
5,700 until this morning. I wrote some checks. And I mentioned what we got in that auction on Memorial Day weekend. So we're fluent. We're floating very well.
Thanks, Ed. Okay, next up, we usually have radio sale coordinator. But we've kind of already covered that. So remember, there's going to be a October swap meet, and now an August one with PSARA. So it's Don here for the call letter. No, okay. So next up, we have a tech talk. Dick, do you need a couple minutes to set up?
No, not really. Just gotta get up. Anyways, I'm gonna launch some stuff. On your basket. And a lot of them radio people have loose in there. It's all there, pretty much in one piece. You can clean out underneath it. And before you re-glue anything, you want to figure out how you're going to clamp this wood. Use the C-clamps and pieces of blocks of wood. And then if it's a flat surface, you want to make sure you put something good and smooth and flat on it. And plywood over the top of that. Plywood underneath inside the cabinet. And then put 2 or 3 C-clamps on it to distribute everything evenly. And a good idea is to use some wax paper under this metal. And the reason I've gotten away with it, with not doing that, no problems, but Sometimes it'll get moisture, glue on it or something, maybe corrosive, and maybe you leave it on overnight, you know. And you take it off and there's a big black mark because of a little rust spot. And it stains the wood and it gets right into it. And then you gotta use oxalic acid, which is this stuff, oxalic, to try to get that stain mark out of there. Normally it takes, you take water stains out, average stains, 1 or 2 applications. But if it's real bad, I've had to do it as many as a dozen times to get real bad ones where somebody in the family had set a potted plant on the radio and watered it, and naturally it overflowed. And if you're lucky, it had a red ribbon on the pot. So that whatever went into that wood, it makes a water stain with red dye in it. And you can generally, with enough applications, you can get rid of the black spot. And then you think, well, why not use like red dye remover or some bleach? And you want to make sure you're rid of all this oxalic acid, because if you put bleach with it, it starts generating gas. And I found that out the hard way. Just a little whiff that just about knocked out gas. But the hardest thing to get rid of is the dye marks that get in there. Eventually, you work on it long enough, you can pretty well get rid of it. And if it's too bad, then you end up just having to tone it. The toning lacquer on it. Other little tricks you can do is, like I use usually this Elmer's glue. They also make it with brown, if you can find that. Or this is hide glue here, it's clear. And that's all right, except that the reason you had loose veneer was they used this stuff when they made it. Water soluble. Water soluble. If you have to match, shredded, cut part of it away. Try to do that before you ever glue anything. Piece of old veneer. You got old radios, you can steam them apart. Veneer. You usually find a veneer fairly close vintage wise, what you're working on. And if you find one that you kind of match the patterns before you cut it, that's great, but then wet both pieces. So because when you wet them, then you'll get the true color of it. And a lot of times, maybe it looks great, put it in there, glue it in place, everything works out nice, and then you go to stain it, and one surface stains a certain flavor and the other one's much darker or lighter. You know, it's got a good pattern in it, but it's just, you can't mix the colors, you know. So you have to take a lot of time trying to compare woods to try to find something. Mainly, the most noticeable thing is the coloring. You know, you can almost dummy up the pattern a little bit with it. They make little small fine pens. Depending on your wood graining, you can kind of match that before you ever put a finish on it. Try to make them look normal. Other things is, say for instance, like I've got a lot of furniture clamps and whatnot. You all seen these long furniture clamps with pieces of pipe in them. Yeah. And those have metal jaws on the end. Yeah. All I do is take little pieces of wood and cut them and put double-faced tape on them and stick them on the jaws. So that when you're clamping something, you're not clamping with a piece of metal, clamping, pushing wood against wood. Otherwise, you can actually leave the impression at the end of the jaw in whatever you're squeezing. They make some of them, most of them have steel pipe in them. big long ones, you can slide the jaws back and forth on them. Best one I've got, believe it or not, is got a 1/2-inch rigid conduit, aluminum conduit that they use to put the thing together with. And it's real light, and the sliding jaw digs into it good. So slip. Some of the steel ones, when you try to use them to put together floor models or something, you take a turn on it, it tightens up, and then pretty soon it keeps tightening, and this lower end keeps sliding on the pipe. It doesn't bite in. But if you have aluminum pipe in there, it will dig right into it. And then, of course, you got like doing a contour, a waterfall edge. This is lightweight. Pieces of lightweight metal, like you got a solvent can that's empty. Cut the ends off, slice it up, and you got some nice, fairly smooth, pliable lightweight metal with a finish inside, sort of smooth. And you can put that over a waterfall, kind of iron it down. Then you can take like old bicycle tubes. But you cut up an old bicycle inner tube, and they'll stretch real good. And you could use a clamp like this on the back edge to hold it, or you can use a C-clamp with a board under it, you know, to pull it on there, and then as you pull it out and wrap it over the waterfall, do something like this, pull it down, stretch it, go underneath, or clip it on the bottom of the cabinet, and it'll give you good, even, constant pressure on that curve. It works pretty good. And if you wanted to try to do a top that rolls down, glue the top also, you'll find that even though you got it clipped up there, stretched down tight, hold it over the contour okay, that this center part up in here, it doesn't have much pressure on it. So if you pull these up a little bit, slide a piece of 1/4 plywood or something in there, that'll give you a little more pressure up there, and then you can also C-clamp that. You don't want to, you want to try to keep it fairly seamless, whatever it is you're anchoring. So because some of this stuff, like you use a rough piece of plywood on a fairly lightweight veneer, it'll actually imprint a picture at the bottom of that plywood. And if the grain is showing on the plywood, you don't think about it at the time, it's just a hunk of wood you grab and stuck in there. And when you take it all off, start to sand it down, finish it, it's here, it's got a plywood print in it. You know, it's not even plywood. But you have to be careful with what you use. The best material I've run into was like kitchen cabinet doors. People have scrapped out the old doors. They're real thick and solid. And they're generally smooth on both sides. And you cut them up for blocking, you know, inside your radio and outside to clamp the veneers. And that works pretty good. But a lot of this stuff is just another little trick. You got cellophane tape. See, you got to do some edges. Yeah, I've got a bunch of these oak strips like this that are about 1 foot long. I'll put tape on one side, and it you know, you can clamp it down onto something smooth, and if there's any glue coming up, it won't stick to that tape, so you can get your board off easier. Another thing is like when I have to try to put a new top on something, I'll say so long, whatever it is, divide it in half, and take a piece of that blue tape, put it along that one side of that line. And then the other side, you can put all your glue down. You've already figured out the size of piece of wood you want to put on there, how you want to position it. And when you first put it on, you can use a little roller wheel. Go to a wallpaper store, whatever, they've got roller wheels on a handle. Put it in here, but it's not there now. But you can kind of iron it on a little bit first to get the air bubbles out. And then you've got your glue tape and your mark on the edge. So make sure you wipe off any excess glue. Put your wax paper on top of it, flat metal, another piece of wood backing underneath, squeeze it down once, and then unclamp it. Check it, see that it didn't turn. A lot of times do that when you squeeze it down, you get the excess glue out of it, the whole piece of wood. And if you do that right away, then you can check it and you can generally straighten it. Off any excess glue with a damp. Do that once or twice, wipe off your wax paper and your other stuff, put it back together again and clamp it again. Let it sit for a minute and then unclamp it. Check it a third time. And if by then it should stay. If it doesn't, you need, the next time you clamp it, you need to put a couple dabs of tape, from the wood to the cabinet. Try to keep it from moving. But usually after a couple of times, it'll stop moving. But if you don't do that, you'll end up thinking, oh, get apart, the darn thing's crooked. Then what do you do? You gotta recut it or try to cut a little liver piece to fit in there. It never looks to be a real problem. What else? Zenith wants a big half round. 375 or something like that. Big thing, it was like a 55-gallon drum that got in half. It was huge. And one part of the front, it sat and then hit probably in storage real heavy, and it caved in that side, bashed it in pretty good. And it was, it was one of those things that, how are you gonna fix that? Well, what I ended up doing was you could use it all. Stick the needle in and blow the air out. Ball, filling a football type thing. And they're better. This is too lightweight. With this little gizmo here, you can't get much pressure in it. Locking in there and C-clamp it to the chassis foundation. Put your stuff the ball in there and then start to inflate the ball. And as it fills up, it'll shove that bashed in spot out. You might want to put a piece of metal in there or some more underlayment. Sometimes if you steam apart a lot of this stuff, you end up with a lot of wood, a lot of extra veneer wood. And there's some 1/8 material underlayment that flexes real good one direction, but not the other. And you can cut a piece of that, stick it, or shove it out and see how it works. If it comes out nice and smooth, and if it does, then deflate it, take it out of there, and do all of the thing, inside and out to work, and then glue that whole piece all back in. all back up to the right contour. And then clean off all that excess glue while it's staying. And just light it, because if you do, you can actually split it. But it'll work that curve right back where, like the one I had, I did it with, I couldn't even tell. It all went right back the way it was originally. And that worked pretty good. There's a lot of things you could come up with. Where you, like this oxalic acid, I always mix up some of that, like, or even the saucer. But sprinkle this stuff in until it stops to. In other words, it goes to saturation, I think is what they call it. That's when you begin to see some in the bottom and it doesn't melt, that means you got enough in there. And then you can use the 3M material. Real men don't need gloves. It'll help you go into life of crime with it. But you can dab that in and put it on that thing and scrub. You might have quite a few, get rid of the spot, and then you want to do the whole area. All bright the same, you know. And then when it's, you can either let it dry or whatever, but if you plan on sanding it, what you need to do is wipe all of that off 4 or 5 times with clean water. You get all that residue. After it dries, when you know you can sand it. But if you don't take that stuff off and you start sanding it, boy, it goes right up into your nose and it starts sneezing. It does a pretty good job. Here's the other tools, like I find that work pretty good, are steal your wife's spatula. These are great for if you have a big chunk of partially loose veneer. Put glue on it, breathe way in, scrub it around to get it all up. You can use the steak knives or case knives. Or I'm glad my binder. I just left them on the bench. But there's lots of other ideas. Kind of the biggest thing is to figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to clamp it. It's the last thing in the world you need to do is glue something. Well, let's see. Let's look around and find something to put on it. Some guys do it. Doesn't turn out right.
Getting glue underneath the veneer, I have used long needle syringes. You can reach in there and squeeze it in several spots and it'll spread out.
That was good. Another thing too is if you find out there's a little squirt glue, real to depth. I squirt that in under there and take it all glue around. But
I have a question for you.
yeah.
How do you take the wrinkles out of a flat surface where the bulges in the veneer are quite visible?
Well, that just depends where you can clamp things, and where you can, how you can get in there to do something with it. If it's like the top of a wall, where it's got an end piece in the center, there's two separate pieces of veneer. Usually if they're wrinkly, you can get under that with a knife and work it, get it all loose. And then start putting glue in it, working it down, and then you need a curved surface. You need a strip of metal and some rubber, thin rubber that you can put on it, and a strip of metal. Put a board at the bottom and then another one next to it, and next to it, and next to it. Keep clamping them all. And it would be pretty difficult because it's contoured, and also like if you have vice grips with a long jaws on them, you can reach in clear up towards the front and clamp it, and then another one, you know, back towards the back. But you have to use heavy enough material that's not going to bend too bad, but you can transfer all that pressure where you want it. You do it, say, in 1-inch strips, you can get the contour pretty good. Like on a wall top, it's very difficult to get any pressure on it. It's a real easy bend. For bands and all that, but it's not going to really hold very good. It's difficult to fix some surfaces. Or skin it all off if it's loose and replace it, you know, with a fresh piece of veneer. Then again, do that. I find that use new veneer with old rebias at the same time. You know, does this end really match this end? Well, it looks like it's the same. But if you try putting them two together, old and new, it ain't gonna work. It's just gonna show.
Yes.
Well, there's pharmacies, Oxol, it's granular, white granular stuff, like powder.
Okay.
And you have to mix it with a real hot water in a small dish or something. Because usually it'll go quite a ways. A lot of mileage. You know, a fairly light water damage, you can go over it once and you can actually watch it. In 10 or 15 minutes, it'll fade. You might want to reapply a little bit. But once you see it starting to fade, then you really ought to do the whole section. So it all fades the same. Otherwise, get rid of the black spot, the water part, but then you'll have this funny looking lighter spot there. So you did that whole section. That's pretty good.
How do you apply that? With the brush, spine?
3M scratchy pads. You can use a brush. Just use scratchy pads. 3M abrasive. That works pretty the surface to get through whatever the sheen or whatever is there, to open the wood up, to take the acid. Well, you can strip the wood. You have to get the finish off to get the watermark down. And if you screw it up pretty bad, you're going to make it worse. Split it worse. And if it's that bad, you might want to just cut it off, get rid of it. Clean cut. Pry off what's there and then strip the rest. Do it.
You do like dots of glue, or do you do a line of glue, or how do you?
Well, I just look on there and then take my hand. Whatever. Of course, the way I do it, use a little too much glue, but I found if you skimp on that, sometimes part of it will stick good and sometimes it won't. You'll end up little loose spot, which you never know the loose stuff. You can go over it, feel it, feels good, and you sand it all out, smooth it, and then you stain it and put a finish on it, and there, looking at it, and you look at the end, and there's a couple of off spots. Sometimes, I think maybe the chemicals in the paint loosen some of the existing glue, because it'll all of a sudden you'll find spots that didn't stick. You have to just kind of improvise whatever it takes. Typically, with a sharp knife, you can add glue on the edges, work it in with something. But anyway, any more questions?
Yeah, earlier in your talk, you said before you put the glue on it, so you clean off the old glue. So what do you use to do that?
Well, I meant clean it out, like you'll have partially loose veneer. And it's how many years has it been loose? How many years has it had dust and crap in there? But you want to get in and clean it out as best as you can and try to get rid of the old glue. Because it's, unless it's water soluble, put water in. Soften it up, try to get it out of it. But if it's a later glue, modern stuff that is water soluble, that's you pretty much have to get it completely out of there and sand it all down. Another problem you run into is when you're re-gluing, say you have a piece that's in good shape, but it's partially attached, and you clean it all out and and weighted clamp it, and you sand it all down and sand it and put a finish on it, and then you look at it on an angle with light behind it, and you see a little small section there. With the existing will be nice, very slow to be raised because it's sucked up water while we're doing it. And the glue you use, this stuff it's water. And when you put it in there, you can wipe it off with a damn cloth. That wood will swell. If it does, then you have to sand the whole thing. And you can use a flat file, put a piece of tape on the end of the file so you don't cut any grooves with it, and run it across that part until it begins to scrub everything. All the thick stuff and start to get the thinner. Sand it all down. So again, and you have to work it down because the wood will change dimensions on it. It's thicker.
You just use a fine metal file.
Yeah, nice flat file. Any more questions?
Well, thanks so much, Dave.
Except don't be afraid to try it. You have a radio that's a piece of crap already. I can leave it this way, or I can screw it up trying to fix it. But whatever you do, it probably will improve it. That's where you want to do it, and don't worry about ruining it because you can't. Somebody's already done that. That happens all the time. But it's pretty satisfying once you get done. I had a Climax radio one time that had fins wrapped around it. Neat looking, but it was a horrible shape. I took the cabinet and I thought, well, it's so bad, I don't really know where to start, fix it. So maybe I'll just get them all apart and then start putting them back together again. I put it in the bag with the steamer. And a couple of months later, we came back to look it out of the bag, and the whole radio just unfolded. Wow. and all those pieces. So I put them back together and you get disenchanted with it. I had some notes as to when I started. I wrote the date. 7 years before I finally finished. But you can pretty much fix anything that happens, but it may not be easy, it may not be fast. But it's kind of fun to do. So that's it, I guess, for now.
Thank you so much. That was great.
Okay, looks like our meeting is winding down. The McCracken's last estate sale for all for sale, including radio. So that'll be, I believe, a 3-day sale. So by you guys know as soon as they let us know. So that will be the final sale in the McCracken's. And that's unfortunately about an hour 45 minutes south of Portland. So one thing, yes.
She sold the house too?
Yes. She's- Everything's up for sale, including that. So another thing is that we have an estate that needs our help. There's a bunch of items. These are just the only pictures she sent me. And they're asking help club on how to dispose of all this stuff. So I'm looking for anyone who wants on behalf of the club to represent. Take a look to see if she should just try to sell it on Craigslist, or if we should bring it in and auction. You should just take it to the dump. We don't know. So we just need anyone who's interested in helping out by going to this estate. Now, this is the Harper former estate sales there, but this is everything that's left over. Unfortunately, in Garibaldi,
The coast.
along the coast, so it's an hour 45 minutes from here. Yes, does anyone want to go over there and have a look?
What about Sid?
Well, sure, I can ask him. Remember, he's not driving and I'm kind of under the weather because of his. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so is Badwater Kid guy.
Oh,
Cliff?
Cliff Tuttle.
Cliff?
Yeah, Cliff.
Now, so I will want to do it by the looks of the stationery. It's the stuff left over from his estate, so it's a bunch of parts, radios, disc projects.
Let me get a
boxes
picture of it
parts.
so people can see it.
So my feeling is it's probably a good fit for one of our auctions. I don't think she's gonna get any money on Craigslist or. So I think that might be it, but it would involve someone to go there and pick up probably a pickup truck and maybe a little extra. I don't see any console radios. I don't see any big items, but just a lot of parts, which I think we could sell.
Tubes too. Right?
Yes, there's tubes there too. But it's hard to say. I don't know if they're radio or TV. She just says they're stuff.
Couple tube testers. Looks
Yeah,
like a bunch of
it's-
plastics, maybe. Is that what-
Well, can't really tell. I think it's leftovers from its estate sale. It's probably, I guess. So Brian, did you go to that sale for
We all
Mike?
did.
Was your-
No, it wasn't. It was, it was a couple years ago. Yeah. It was.
Down near where Speed used to.
Yeah, it was Antique Powerland. Yeah, that's what it was. It
Oh,
was-
okay.
it
I don't think
was-
I went to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big. The guy who was the president of this club for a while, man.
Mark Moore?
No, no.
No, Greg
No,
Bond.
no,
Greg
before-
Bond.
Greg Bond.
All right. Okay, so I don't know if it's worth, maybe to look, give us an idea. Is it worth our while to even help her or?
Well, those three guys are at the beach and you're a lot closer.
Okay, I'll write them down. So, we did get a letter from Dick Bixler's wife, so anyone who wants to read this card, I passed it out, but I'm not sure if everyone had a chance to read it. So go ahead and pass it out.
I just want to read it to everybody. Yeah, read it.
Dear North Society, Dick, many year. Okay, I'm gonna read it as it's written. Dick, many years of friendship and knowledge from being a part of this group. It was a highlight of his life. Thank you so much for giving him the best memories ever. Best wishes, Jan Bixson.
Oh, thank you. Anyone have anything want to talk? Okay, if nothing else, we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting.
Thanks everybody for being on Zoom.
Sounds good.